I'd like to turn it over at this point to Mr. King, who will explain something about what this man's been about for the last couple of years and give you a little introduction to who he is.
I'd like to catch you up. It's sort of hard to give a brief introduction of Roy Smith because he's done a lot of things, but I'd like to say a few things about why it is we brought him to this trip. The activity or the idea behind taking students into the woods or taking students into activities as opposed to teaching students in the classroom is often referred to as experiential education. And I'm sure you've heard of that term, and you're living that term in this experience this week. But in the United States, in the experiential education movement, Roy Smith is very much an innovator and very much a leader. And it's a pleasure to have him tonight to talk to you about some of the things he's done and perhaps put a perspective of what this type of education means and how this can be a valuable experience the rest of your lives by sharing his life as he has lived it. Some of the things that Roy has done in his life on his own have been to be a writer, to be an expeditioner, to be a teacher. He was about, 18 years ago, was on a British expedition, first ascent of Albumayo in the Peruvian Andes. How tall is that? Large mountain? 20,000 foot peak. And that in and of itself is very interesting, an accomplishment. But I think the most amazing thing that Roy has done, and the most relevant thing to our experience here, is that he moved from being involved in expeditions of adults to leading expeditions of students on just as challenging, dangerous, and adventuresome activities as that ascent. And came up with a formula that you can take students of all ages and put them into a challenging environment and do things that most people wouldn't think were possible. The Brooks Range in Alaska is above the Arctic Circle, and Roy led a group of Antioch College students on the first winter crossing ever of the Brooks Range in Alaska. The first crossing of the Sea of Cortez by kayaks, and most recently, tonight Roy will be talking about an expedition that he took which involved Yale graduate students and some others on a stretch of the Omo River in Ethiopia, which had previously been unexplored. So, without further ado, I'd like to turn over the podium to Roy, because he more than is capable of speaking for himself, and we've already had a veritable palimpsest of
how am I going to rate it?
Well,
what I did was I wrote a letter to the New York Times, and I said, this is what we're going to do in Africa. We want to go down this river, and this is what we plan to do. These are some of the problems, this is the adventure, this is all the science we're going to do. And the editor said, send me the story. And within 10 days, I had my $15,000. Because I got 3 people who signed up to come along and each put in $5,000. And they were all in their 50s. One was a corporation president from North Carolina. The other fellow was a headhunter. Do you know what a headhunter is?
Yeah. She's flamingos.
She's flamingos. That's what it is.
What else in the back? Okay.
That is how about the capital Ethiopia. So the family there here in the north. You've probably heard the word Gondar, all this area up here. This is where, of course, the ancient Christian empire began around the 3rd century and has persisted until this day in the northern part of the country. This is where the rebels are, the Eritreans. They're fighting for independence. Gondar, one of the great religious capitals of Ethiopia, and Addis Ababa, the capital, about 8,000 feet. And the Omo River starts way up in the highlands over here and flows all the way down here into Lake Rudolph. The watershed of the Omo lies adjacent to the watershed of the Blue Nile, which flows, of course, to Khartoum and then to the Mediterranean. Most of the water in the Nile, 85
Here of all dishes and paper and silverware by the people who ate at that table. And then the KP guys have all the dishes to wash, all the cleaning up to do, and they wipe off the tables. They should not have to carry any dishes back, because that really adds to an already lengthy job. Any questions about any of that? Okay. Let me remind you, one thing we talked about a lot in our session before we came up here was dipping. We dealt with dipping over the years. Really, the only dipping.
Doc, did it come home yet? What? Did it come home yet? Hello. Okay. First order of business. Hi, Herb.
How you doing? We're ready.
Okay. Baseball glove of our beloved Doc Kennedy is been borrowed, generously donated by the Doc so that the first baseman would be protected, and the glove hasn't come home. So, please, glove, come home. Angeli. We just have It'll take care of itself. And second,
Yeah, when it comes home, just put it right there by the door where the bats and balls are. Doc has generously offered to let the glove be a part of our equipment for softball. But just whoever, we need to be sure it gets brought back with the bats and balls.
no questions will be asked. No rewards offered. Now, for the second night in a row, to present this coveted Flamingo Award, the man who they say if David Letterman was the president of a prep school, his name would be Herbert Parks. First of all, I want to thank Doc Kennedy for writing the ode. All right.
Will the award come forward?
Get up.
A very difficult decision. We met at great length, and we have decided that the Flamingo Award tonight goes to, for an intense experience, Stuart McBride.
You'll have to ask him. It was on the rocks where everything happened. Yeah.
Best thing about a writer singing stuff, I think, especially in a case like this, is that you can talk to the person about what the song is about, and they should know because they wrote it. So that's really the kind of excitement to me about doing this. Because I don't aspire to be a performer, but I love to share my music with people. And if you are someone who is interested in music or interested in writing, I hope you'll approach me sometime later. talk about it. It means a lot to me, just like there are people that I have been inspired by in my music that I have gotten to talk to from time to time when I play with the Beatles. Dan Fogelberg does not know a basswood tree from a tulip tree. Paul McCartney, rolling. This song is called "The Legacy," and it's about a thought I had once, how no matter what position we're in our echelons in society, there's one thing that we all share. There's a lot of things we all share. This is one of those things. Help me by being quiet, because my voice isn't carrying very well. If I was a poor man, born into my pain, a place where promise never came, I walked hungry through my day, I'd send a prayer that I would meet just once again, a place to hide me from the driving winter wind. These things are golden to a man who has no friend. Have you ever If I was a rich man, a pheasant under glass, inside my house of silk and brass, and I control the working class, I'd spend my nights up in my office with a grin, to close the deal that makes me richer twice again. I need a beach house and a good set of wheels. You know how that. If I was a color, stripped of my true name, dragged to the south in iron chains, and so I live my life in vain. I'd sing to God so that my spirit is not broke. I plant the seed for you to smoke. One night I'd find you all alone beside the cloud. I'd send you to I am not a poor man, and rich I'll never be, and I was born to the mainstream. My freedom came too easily. Oh, rich men, poor men, we have all learned how to start. Freedom or handouts or another shiny car. the ghost of misty dawn. On the great horizon, the sun is rising. Now the ghost is gone, and the shape of green turn on. All the things that I think that I know are probably wrong. But one thing I know is my right to belong. In the cool green water lies the heart inside the stone, and the ancient power is singing loud every mile that I'm gone. And the thunder rolls as the clouds portend, and the river knows it will begin again. And the rain comes down and then the sky is blue, and the rainbow tells me that the circle's true. Oh, the circle is true. Oh, the river is falling now, calling out to the far-off sea, turning over its foam and white. It brings a light to the heart of me. Got the sun and the wind and the trees to sing a song. And what below just carries me on. Now the dark is rising, and I listen for the way, till the moon is high and gives me light, and to the river I pray. Oh, my body lives and then its days are gone, but I will live through you, so you must carry on. And the thunder rolls as the clouds portend, and the river knows that we shall meet again. We shall meet again. Watch the stars from my bed. Someone's arranged in constellations, and out in the night of the clock in the hall. All I want is the dawn, and pray it pushes the darkness into the closet and sheds some light. There's nothing at all. Too many clouds, the sun will never get under. Get on the freeway and feel like a number. Spend the day of my life without you. Try not to think about you. But how can I ever forget you when the constellations are changing? I see broken hearts in the sky. There's a constellation worth naming for every time love has to die. stars make a constellation. I'm one of the stars that learns to survive. All alone is my home. Give me time for a revelation, and let me know at the end of my life. Too many miles and my mind starts to wonder. Life on the freeway's pulling me under. Been ahead of my life without you. Tried to think about you, but how can I ever forget you when the constellations are changing? I see broken hearts in the sky. There's a constellation worth naming for every time love has to die. Ladies and gentlemen, do it again. The name of this is the second hymn for War Woman Freedom. For those of you who go down to section 2 tomorrow, when you get out, look across the river. You'll see a creek coming into the street, and that's War Woman Creek. If you're putting in on section 3 tomorrow, look across the river. War Woman. Second hymn. I did a lot of my growing up at War Woman Creek. I've got a long wants you to get inside the song. And I guess the best way to do that is to tell you that what if when you went home, there were people in there with green skin holding weapons, which were very intimidating. And they were telling you that you had to pack up everything you could and walk over. There's no difference in that than what happened. It's not something we can dismiss. It happened. I listen for her sweet song. I pray that the words be strong. Sing to the place in my soul where the emptiness grows. In the sky, I search for a wing of gold. The eagle gives hope, I'm told, but the raven bird cries on the cold granite sky. 2 days behind me, my hills are gone, my fields undone, my fire is cold and it's quiet. With
my life. Stood alone in the forest as the winter brought ice to the pine. With the light coming through, it was all he could do not to leave his life behind. High in the treetops, on the crystal path of the moon, all things were clear to him, for the things that he loved remained true. And his blood ran clear with the winding water. His heart was pure with the white of the snow. He found his name with the fox in the shadow, and he carried that name wherever he goes, wherever he goes, wherever he Somewhere in time there's a moment when a man must swallow his tears. He takes a stand, takes his heart in his hand, till his dream breaks through the years. Every dream has its moment, every moment must end. But I am the child who was born to the wild, and the sun shall rise again. So I wonder with the heart, the stars and the trees, and my heart is your home. That's where we both are set free. And I've got the will to whisper my secrets. I share the bed of the moss by the river. I touch my lips to the gentlest water, and I'll feel this love wherever I go, wherever I go. I share my dreams with the stars in the heavens. I've got to pray to cry on my shoulder. I've got a promise with the heart of the forest that I'll feel this love wherever I go, wherever I go, wherever I go. And my blood runs clear with the winding water. My heart is pure with the white of the snow. And I've got your love, like the sun, it will help me to slow. And I'll feel this love wherever I this storyteller at a college that taught storytelling. And this particular story that I heard he told was where he played instruments and he talked through a banjo like it was some kind of telephone or something. And I was intrigued by both this person that played instruments and told stories and entertained lots of people, and this particular story. So I found Warren Wilson College, and I ended up going to school there, and I ended up getting to know David and being his friend and finding out a little bit more about him. And since then, David left Warren Wilson College and dedicated himself to full-time entertainment. He was already traveling around the country.
Comments today, so I just want to ask you one thing about clothes. How come you have your shirt on inside out, buddy? Well, I live in the mountains of western North Carolina. I've been collecting old-time songs and stories and music there for about the last 15 years. I live in a little community called Fairview. How many have been to Fairview? Oh, yeah, all right. Now, let me get something straight here. When I ask you how many people have been to Fairview, I don't really care how many people have been to Fairview, where you've been. I'm just looking for a little, to know you're with me. Now, how many people have been to Fairview? I don't mean to pry, but what were you doing there? One of the places to learn music around where I live are the old country stores. And there's a fella named David Tickle who has Tickle's Grocery there in Fairview. Is your dog bite there? And old David says, no, my dog doesn't bite. So the guy gets out of his car, makes about 2 steps up into the store. All of a sudden that dog jumps up and takes a big bite out of that guy's bottom. And the guy lets out a yell and jumps back into his car and says, I thought you said your dog didn't bite. He said, well, my dog doesn't bite, but that dog there does. Now, how many people have ever been to Chattanooga?
Whoa,
We have 5 generations of bones players in my family. These are some bones that were made by my great-great-grandfather during the Civil War. These are just made out of wood. There's an oak one. You can see how, your oak is a light-colored wood. You can see that thing has been played a lot. They sound a little different tones, sound like this. So I'm going to play you a song using these bones right here. Yeah. My dad learned from his father, who was an old country doctor. Now, his name was Daddy Doc, old Dad, that's what we call him anyway. Daddy Doc would go out in these buggies way out into the outskirts of Texas. This is where my family's from. And he would drive like all day to go see one patient. And then he got out into an area that he had never been before, went to see an old lady who was sick. And he went in the house and he went into the bedroom, closed the door, and examined this lady all over and came out and told the family what he thought was wrong. Well, then he got in his buggy and went back into town. And pretty soon the family went in to see how the old lady was doing. They said, "Well, Mama, what'd you think?" She said, "Well, he was pretty nice for a preacher." They said, "Granny, that wasn't a preacher, that was the doctor." She said, "Oh, I thought he was awful friendly for a preacher." A song called the Whiskey Before Breakfast. Dad played, and I told my kids they don't really have to learn any of these instruments, but I do have to learn these two so we can just keep it passing on down to the family. Anyway, the way you play the spoons like this is just get one between your thumb and your first finger, get the next spoon upside down with one finger in between so the bottoms will hit together, and then hold them tightly in the back. Just make a fist around is really what it comes down to. Get down on your leg and up on your hand and just back and forth. That part is real easy. Good click going both ways. Speed it up. Now, if you want to get real fancy, you can drag the spoons across your fingers like this. So you get a little roll, just have your fingers outstretched wide apart. That's really easy too. In fact, the whole thing is pretty easy if you just practice a little. Here's an old song with the spoons that I got off of a 78 record. That's another place I get a lot of the tunes, as well as going around and visiting old folks. This was a 78 record I found at the flea market. Get Tanner and the Skillet Lickers, recorded in 1927. Because it's so complicated. 64 strings, and you hit it with these little wooden hammers to get a sound out of it. But they play this in just about every country in the world. They play it in the Far East, in the Mid East, in China, in Egypt, and in this country. In fact, there's a notation of one of these being on the Mayflower when it came over, so it's been around a long time. I learned to play from an old man named Virgil Craven in Asheboro, North Carolina. It's one of the tunes that he played. Son? You want who? You want your mom? Mama? Leave a little space between your hands. You clap on this side and clap on that side. You gotta kind of do it slow at first to make it work. There you go. Yeah, that's it. Good. All right. Here's the most common hand-bone rhythm. I guess, I don't know why, but it's the one that most people seem to know. It goes like this. Yeah. And it works like this. You hit up on your leg, hit up on your chest, hit down on your leg with the back of your hand, up on your leg, up on your chest. This isn't the rhythm, this is just sort of how it works. Just go back and forth. There you go. All right. Here's a really crazy one. It goes like this. You hold your hand out in front of you like this, and then you hit down on your forearm with the back of your hand. You don't get much sound. There you go, guys. Especially this time of the day. Okay, and you hit up on your forearm, you get a little bit of sound, and then you clap your elbow. Oh, yes. Okay, so you hit down and up, and you clap your elbow. It's been a while since you clapped your elbow. I can see that right now. Okay, now the rhythm, the actual rhythm is like this. It goes da, da, da. The fast ones are right here, the hands. There you go. Yeah. Okay, here's another one. This one goes like this. Tap lightly with your fingers. If you make them out the big circle, you get a high-pitched kind of sound. If you make a small circle, you get a low-pitched sound. Everything in between that way, song too. And here, high-pitched sounds. Let's see if I can tell the difference here. How about a low-pitched sound? Oh yeah, that works great. Yeah, that's good. I think you got it now. You can do that one off the front of your mouth. And if your head's hollow, you do it off the top of your head. What I like to do is put all those together and just play a hand bone solo you can practice those separately, and then when you sort of get them separately, then you can start trying to weave them together. And that's what I'm going to try to do for you right now. I learned most about rhythm from a fan that my grandmother had in Texas on the back porch, and we didn't have air conditioning. It was in Gatesville, Texas. Big old fan like this, and the front of the fan had a loose screen, and it would just go like this all night long. It just varied rhythms all night long, and I just lie there and listen to that fan. So I'll dedicate this trombone solo to that fan. Here we go. At the end that makes it sound neat is E. So E. Oh, that's very good. Let's try that part again. E. I believe you guys are going to get this. Let's try the whole thing again. Start from the beginning. E. You get it going like E. Here we go. E. I. O. E. E. I. O. Squeeze box. And they call it that because you push in on it, you get one set of notes. You pull out, you get another. On an accordion, it doesn't make a difference which way you push or pull, but this thing it does. So you press these buttons instead of, there's no piano keys. In fact, this plays in any key you want as long as it's the key of C. You pull it back and forth. Play a tune. Press the bass notes over here, 2 bass notes. Have an air hole back here. And to put it all together, it sounds like this. Let's see here. Let me just...
cook whatever he caught that day. Now, if he caught a rabbit or a deer or a fish or whatever, he'd roast it right there on the fireplace. Didn't have a stove, just used the fire. If he didn't catch anything, all he could do was roast himself a big old pot of beans. Now, one cold, dark, and windy night, that old man was sitting up, hadn't caught a thing that day. He was just sitting up cooking a big old pot of beans and listening to the wind howl through the trees outside. He was kind of lost in his thoughts, and, well, he was watching those beans begin to boil, and fire burned down low. All of a sudden, he looked down, he saw the nose of some kind of creature start to stick its head up through a hole in the floorboards of the house. Now, it was a hole he should have fixed way last summer, but it was too late now. That thing was starting to come in the room. It had big, long, sharp teeth and big, fiery-looking eyes and pointed ears, big as a dog, the thing was, but it had a tail like a giant rat. Well, the thing started to come in the room, and he leaned over and picked up the axe, and when that thing came in the room, he leaned over and chopped its tail right off. Well, that thing let out an awful yell and went running back out between the floorboards of the house. And that old man had lived in those woods his whole life and never seen a creature like that before. But there its old tail was, still sitting on the floor, wiggling. When he reached down, he picked it up. That thing was long. It didn't have any hair on it, and it did have a lot of meat on it. Well, he didn't have any meat for those beans, so he just dropped it down into those beans and cooked it on down, and then, like a fool, he ate it. Well, it tasted pretty good to him. Until when he finished the last bean in the pot, he realized he was getting an awful stomachache. Well, he crawled over to the bed, and he pulled the covers up around his head, and he was just about to go to sleep when he heard a little scratching sound up the side of the house. Well, he sat up in his bed, and he said, "Who is that out there?" I said, "Who is that out there?" But all he heard was that scratching sound, and then something said, "Taily bone. I want my taily bone." The old man figured somebody was playing a trick on him. He said, "Now go on and get out of here, whoever you are. Just go back home." But all he heard was, "Taily bone. I want my taily bone." Well, he called him, and they chased that thing way back down to the woods. Thing is a jaw harp, or the Jew's harp, or the Jew's harp. Now, it used to be years ago, back at the turn of the century, all the kids played the jaw harp because you could get good ones in those days. You can't get good ones anymore, hardly. I finally found a place in Austria where you can finally get good ones. And the way you play it is like this. You put your teeth on this little beveled edge, move your tongue around, leave a little space between your teeth, though, because if you don't, this little triangle will knock them out of your head. Move your tongue around to get a different note. Sort of like when you're whistling, you can get notes. It's the same way as when you're whistling. You can breathe across it for a rhythm. And this one across the top. You can also talk through it. You can come up to your friends in the morning and say, "Hello, how are you?" Let me put it together with a tune that you probably all know, with an instrument called the tune bow. This is the oldest stringed instrument in the world. I'd say there's not too much contest on that one, would you? This is made by a 93-year-old man in a little community called Sodom, Laurel, North Carolina. This thing goes way, way back. All right, everybody. Sodom, Laurel, yeah. Fine blade. It's played the same way. You put it up to your jaw, move your mouth bigger and smaller, and you get a tune with it. Now, this is a totally ridiculous tune, but I like it. Turkey in the Straw. Now, it has a part that I need your help. I sing turkey in the straw, and you say ha ha ha. I sing turkey in the hay, you sing hey hey hey, or say turkey in the soup, turkey in the sky. Well, frog dancing, buzzing and blowing, fiddling up a tune called turkey in the straw. I think we got it. So I poured hot water up and down her leg. Well, the old chicken cackled, the old chicken baked. The old chicken laid a hard-boiled egg. Turkey in the straw, turkey in the hay. Hey, oh, frog dances, mother-in-law, and he plays up a tune called turkey in the straw, turkey in the sky, turkey in the street. Well, oh, frog dances, mother-in-law, and he plays up a tune called turkey in the straw. Turkey in the straw, turkey in the window. Any of you have ever seen Fire on the Mountain on the National Network? Comes on Saturday. This is a show of mountain music and bluegrass that comes on every Saturday on cable National Network. And I know you get it in Chattanooga. And people send me all kind of crazy things on that show. They get a lot of old-timey ties. This is the best thing I get. A lot of letters and a lot of things like this. This is a turkey caller. I tried this thing. I got it in the mail, and I have some turkeys that live next door to me. Domestic turkeys. The people aren't so great either, but there really are some domestic turkeys there. And you go over and I didn't even know how to use this thing. It's one like this. And those turkeys just sit right up and start talking right back to you. This must mean like, hey, how are you? In turkey talk. And then you give it this. Well, you can imagine what this might mean in turkey talk. It just drives me crazy. So you can understand how interested I would be when a good friend of mine named Michael Parent from Charlottesville, Virginia, told me that you could make a duck call from a pop top. That's what he said. I said, Mike, that seems impossible. He said, no, it really works. He said, here's the way you do it. And he started to tell me. He started to tell me how you get ready for the trip. He started to tell me how you build the blind, which way you face it, just exactly how you do it. It took him 45 minutes to get ready to tell me how to use this duck call. So we'll just take a couple of seconds. You imagine Michael telling me this for 45 minutes, how to get ready. All right. He said, you get it about 3 3/8 inches from your mouth when you get out there in the blind. I said, Michael, how do you know when it's exactly 3 3/8 inches and you're out in the woods or something? He said, practice. All right, so I practice. And then he said, you wait till the ducks get right in front of you. And then when they do, you take 3 short breaths and 1 long one, and then you're ready. So. Calling all ducks, calling all ducks, calling all ducks. Just thought you might like to know that. I like to write songs too. This is an old song, not an old song. It sounds like an old song. I call these songs that I write, because I make them sound old, but they're new. I call them old wave songs. This is called Daybreak in Dixie. Daybreak in Dixie, rooster crow and the sun gonna shine. Daybreak in Dixie, grasshopper sitting on a watermelon vine. The birds are singing, the sun's coming up. Get my coffee in an old clay cup. Slept like a log, so I think I get up for daybreak in Dixie. Mother Nature gives a yawn. She opens her eyes with the Dixie dawn. She wakes the world, oh so sweetly. And every morning she's here to greet me. Daybreak in Dixie. I want to close out with a song you may have heard before about old John Henry. Jaw harps here that I got from Austria. You can come over and check those out. The little ones are $3 and the big ones are $4. I have some
record to have a storytelling record and a music record. And you're welcome to come up and look at these instruments afterwards. Words of my good friend named Jethro Burns. He says, no matter where you go, there you are. He'd love to share this with you. So thank you, David. Always. It's wonderful.
Early morning. Pup, Ralph, and Molly, Ralph, Dad, Shaq.
I'd have paid you for that. Just to take fun. Not for a long period, though.
She goes on in the morning. Here's old George.
Mom.
How you doing, George?
Good morning. Morning. Good
Pretty
morning.
good this morning. You look pretty good this morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay, go.
Well, here we have sprinting up the sidewalk.
Right.
Dynamite Andy Walker and dynamite Ken Donovan.
I mean,
Absolutely
look at
burning
that.
the concrete up.
Look at that excitement.
Absolutely. Scintillating space. And here's Big
I
Joe
wish
Hood
I'd
coming up
slept
fast
inside
in the
last
rear.
night.
About to run right up
Hood's
the
ready.
line. Big Joe, get a load of this.
Turn around.
Thank you,
Come
Molly.
over with me. It's all right. However full to the field's okay.
And here we have Paul Brewer, who is not even, he is disdaining sidewalk,
Look at this.
opting for the grass,
Yeah. Look, but listen, Paul is ready. Look at this.
leaning forward, facing the world,
He'll open his eyes.
as Roderick Dow wobbles on over, coughing up a lung.
Oh, but here they come out of the
Oh,
woods.
look over here, yes. Yes, here we have the sleeping bag crew.
They slept over there by the lake.
Absolutely down there.
They ain't worth crap.
Ramsey Moore, and folks, we know you can hardly tell the difference, but Ramsey does have a sleeping bag wrapped around him.
This group. Here they come. I mean, this is the group.
James Williams honoring the yellow fellows by donning handsome yellow pants this morning.
Look at
Actually, when his
They're
eyes
so
close, he
excited.
glances
That's
down
right.
and they
Look
wake
at
him up.
young Bruce is just ready.
This looks like military school stuff.
I
They
know.
look in formation
I
coming
know.
up here, don't they?
At least they're coming.
As Joe Scott wobbles up here, here's the long distance runner for you. He looks like he's running that leg of the 2-mile relay.
Who we gonna go across the
We've got David Tolan there.
Tolan,
Yes, he's
man.
about to run into a tree right here, but he may see it.
All right. Good morning, men. We just
Then we have the new
Some of
from
them
the
are now
Bridgeton
getting hacked.
Academy.
Who's that? There's Kennedy Carson.
You don't
Oh,
want
look
to
at
film
Danny.
that.
Look at Daniel.
don't
All
wanna
right,
film
Daniel.
this.
Yes, yes. Look at Gore coming up here.
Mitchell moving like an old man.
All right, Gore. The climbers. That'll do it every time. All right, you're looking good, man. All right, hand tone. Look at this group. All right, I'm missing some coming across over here. Hello, Rick. All right. Looking good, looking good. Cofeld, all right, John. Excitement. Mr. Excitement.
Well, look excited.
Here, Brantley, Mr. Excitement coming up here. I mean, I'm telling you. I don't want to miss this group over here. Cruel.
Sure, where'd you sleep last night? In my bed. Sleep in bed last night?
Boy, Pruitt is ready, isn't he? Look at him. Look at that excitement. Finally got enough sleep. All right.
Nice hat, Jody.
Who's under that hat? Jody Bankston. All right, Bankston. That's lovely. Just really good. Hey, they were telling us, guys, it may rain 2 inches tomorrow. Tonight. Big Wednesday again. This is a great idea. Did you have a good time on the lake over there?
That was great.
That was
Yeah,
lovely.
that's fun.
Just
We didn't sleep all that well, but it was a lot of fun.
I did.
Had fun.
That's Reed. All right. This is his 5th day, man. It's tough.
Hey, Dave, what's the score?
You got it, Dave. All right, we're ready.
Score, Dave.
This baby ain't gonna fall. Look at Bell. All right.
That'll be a good one.
I'll jump out blindfolded. Jason, you fall your butt. No, sleep on a rock. Penn State or Spring Creek. Oh. Oh, ground.
All right. matches. Oh,
Is it on?
Tig.
I'll be the director. More enthusiasm. That's right. Good.
Oh. He's all right. He does that. It's every morning.
Phillips! Uncle Jimmy! Wilson! Tillman! Everybody down here, please.
Hey, boy. Get the dog. Get the dog on tape. Get the dog on tape.
Let's go, let's go.
All the land back here, rope, tight, bring some wool and bring your rain gear. The river trip, probably want to bring some wool today. We got overcast, don't know what the afternoon might bring, so just be ready. Is that okay, Mark? That suits you? Canoeist? Yeah.
The early river trip needs to kind of hustle. Why should it go into
Okay, the people, the Supper KP guys, that's the group that is. Maybe 8:30, Molly be okay? About 8:30. The Section 4 group will meet at the smaller of the two gray buses at 8:20 sharp. And bring some wool. It may be cold down there today. Fellas, I'm not sure how much can be salvaged out of this on the next to the last morning. But it has been, I haven't had a whole lot to do personally with the lunch situation, and this has kind of escaped me, but I'm beginning to hear people report that there's, some borrowing of food among groups. Specifically, I've heard that the group that has Section 4 on a given day and therefore doesn't have to fix lunch and therefore doesn't have to have guys representing their group at the lunch place are coming up short in some cases. Each group started out with plenty of food for 5 lunches. And really plenty. I mean, like 50 oranges and so forth. So let's just really bear down. That's not a very good symptom for us. Roger is going to read the physician, Roger Bannister, that we talked about earlier.
The sense of exercise is an extra sense or perhaps a subtle combination of the others. Small electrical impulses pass from our contracting muscles and moving joints to our brain. The electrical rhythm produced there is a source of pleasure. Like that caused by music, it is some interplay with rhythms inherent in our nervous system. However we attempt to explain it, like music, it fills us with a feeling of power.
And you recall the companion passage to that we thought about the other day is from the British sprinter Eric Liddell in the film Chariots of Fire, when he says to his sister, God made me for a purpose, but he also made me fast, and when I run, I feel his pleasure.